here about an hour and 15 minutes ago was their call time, so that when the amateur tournament ended, you could get in right away. The reason we had that
started the show off a little bit differently today, just because we have this time to kill, basically. But let's talk a little bit about that situation. Number one, it should never happen that you're late for your call time. And as such, you know, 2 bans, which against any team is a big deal, but I think maybe even more so against a team like EG, who, you know, Anivia, Lux, Zed, they're all big bans that need to be banned, and they're not going to have 2 of them.
It was kind of this ticking time. It's like, well, they're not here. We know they're going to lose at least 1 ban. And when they told that to Evil Geniuses, they were like, all right, we're going to get either Anivia, Lux, or Zed, is what they're thinking in their heads. And now that it's 2 bans, it becomes almost an even bigger mind game for Giants and EG. Like, what are they actually going to ban in that situation? Would you just ban Zed and then let Froggen pick between Anivia and Lux, right? Because initially they could kind of ban out both Wicked and Froggen, but that's not the case right now.
Yeah, and, you know, 3 bans is, you know, it's already tough with just 3 bans to really target your bans against most of these teams, but with just 1 ban, Giants have certainly got their work cut out. R for EG, Elise, Kassadin, I think they're going to go for Jarvan 4 here next, to be honest, chat. I mean, that'd be a safe choice,
prediction right now. Of course, we're redoing the bans, so Joe's cheating with this one because we know that there's going to be no extra bans for Giants. Of course, they're going to have to let that timer go all the way out. Last ban's Jarvan, and Evil Geniuses will be first picking Zed at some point. So, I mean, the interesting thing about this is Froggen has played Zed. Like, I've seen him play it. They can swap it back and forth, but Wicked's probably most comfortable champion in the game right now, aside from Renekton, is Zed. But if they wanted to go with an all AD comp, they could do Renekton Zed. They could do a mind game and just not get Anivia. But with how much Froggen has been practicing Anivia of late, how much he's been playing it in solo queue, how much he loves the champion. He has like an Anivia dance that he does sometimes when he goes out to bars. It's amazing, to be fair. Maybe we'll see a viral video of it at some point in the future, but it's what I think is going to go for.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a gift to EG there. You can have Anivia if you want it. I'd expect it to come in as a last pick maybe, but at the same time, Giants have last pick, so they can always wait on that one as well. It looks like they're going to be taking Kha'Zix and Lulu here as their first choices.
So those picks are very standard for Giants as far as I can tell, right? They're not really taking many risks. Kha'Zix can go top or mid, but like all the Kha'Zix that have been successful, at least yesterday, were the mid lane Kha'Zix. Darian played top lane Kha'Zix, didn't really have a good showing. You can 2v1 Kha'Zix fairly well, you shut him down, but when he's mid against those squishy casters, he's incredibly effective for this. So now Evil Geniuses is up with the question, right? Do they pick Anivia now, or do they wait? Because I don't think the Giants is going to pick Anivia. So it's a matter of, does Froggen care to wait to see if it's a counter lane, or is he just going to pick it now?
Yeah, I mean, they've banned that Kassadin out, which we know Exterminate's very, very good on. We know he can play a very mean Twisted Fate as well. His Rise obviously stands out there as well. But interested to see how they go about that whole scenario here with the mid laners. It looks like we are going to be seeing Misfortune along with Nasus. Damn you, Froggen.
He's gonna go back to it. I feel like he's definitely going back to it. They want to lock down.
Or is he baiting it?
They want to lock down Misfortune. He's gonna go Teemo later. The guys are gonna go crazy. It's not gonna happen. But I like this. I mean, I think Snoopy's 2 junglers now in Season 3 are probably going to be Nasus and Cho'Gath for the most part, because they fit his style of tanky guys with lots of utility who can make things happen and have a lot of persistent threat in teamfights, right? Very tactical plays for Snoopy. He doesn't care about super crazy landing all your skill shot mechanics. It's like, I'm gonna just run at you, whether you go in at the right time, and that's how I'm gonna be effective. And that's how Snoopy and almost all of Evil Geniuses actually plays.
And he was strong yesterday as well. I mean, Snoopy gets his fair share of flack actually for, you know, what he can play in the jungle, is, you know, the size of his champion pool and how effective he can be. But yesterday we saw he was great. There's a Mundo pick. That's one of Morden's favorites, and there is an Ashe as well.
So Jim's not going for Kennen, does go for Ashe, so he's sticking with his standard things. And even though that's comfortable for Giants, like, it is such the comp that Evil Geniuses wants right now. Like, I expect this Thresh to go in for Crepo. He wants to be the Thresh Prince. He's gonna have to do a lot more to take that away from Edward on Gambit Gaming, but everyone's chanting right now. They want to see Anivia, and Anivia would make so much sense here, right? It's just, that doesn't make sense. I think Yellow Pete is waiting on this one. They're playing with the crowd enough here. I'm going to call Anivia, Joe.
Honestly, it's got to be Anivia, hasn't it? I mean, we're talking about Froggen, who is basically a Nivea. I think his middle name is, in fact, a Nivea. And yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
There's the Nivea. It had to happen. It was open for him. It's classic. Why not?
It's Evil Geniuses. He's waiting. He's trying to build up the potential. No, it's there. It's there. Yes. Okay. We knew it was going to happen the whole time, but it's still kind of exciting to see.
Still excited to see, even though it comes in with that last round there. So what would you go with in this situation? I mean, knowing that actually that Twisted Fate looks like it's going to be, we talked about Extermin there being a good Twisted Fate player.
Extermin still has Ryze available, even though he has Castan, but picking Ryze against Anivia, I feel like he'd get picked out in a lot of situations. He needs to keep his distance from Anivia, and he needs to be able to go elsewhere against her. I mean, Froggen will know how to play this matchup against Twisted Fate. It's a very bold pick for Giants, but that's got to be what it is. There it is.
Yeah, and I think they need to take some risks, right, in this scenario that they've got going on here. It's not a game that I think without something risky that they could win. Yeah. To put it bold, just the way that EG's played yesterday, the way that we saw Giants play yesterday, I think that some risks are going to have to be taken. It's going to have to be pretty much all or nothing for Giants in this game.
And speaking of the all or nothing, like, they got to go bottom lane for the majority of their ganks, I think. They need to get Jims going on Ashe, combo the Ashe arrows with the Twisted Fate ults, and then go from there. Samix, I feel like, is going to be kind of on his own. Maybe Morton will be able to help, but Giants just has to win this game early. It's going to be so difficult for them, though, because you look at Evil Geniuses, and this is their new, in my opinion, like, composition. Like, if they could get this every game, they would pick this every game. This is their new thing. Misfortune for Pete, great positioning, Froggen on his thing, Wicked on Zed. They're going to win the lanes, and they're really strong in team fights, too. This is an Evil Geniuses composition.
Yeah, and I had an interesting talk last night with Wicked. Alex Sitch was there, and it's interesting to see the difference of opinions, let's call it, between the pros. As Wicked said, you know, we much prefer to play our lineup and practice what we need to practice rather than looking to other teams and watching what they do. And he said to Alex, you know, when you watch other teams, you only watch level 1, right? And Alex just grinned at him, as in, no, we don't just watch level 1. But it's cute that you only do that. And Alex says, well, we like to prepare for every single opportunity, but with only one ban here against EG, they can play a comfortable lineup, and that's exactly what they've got here. This is, you know, if you look through the 5, they're probably all like, well, that's exactly what we wanted. Every single one of them.
The biggest thing about this Evil Geniuses composition is it fits their playstyle in the sense that if they want to disengage, they can disengage, right? That's the whole reason Snoopy doesn't like playing Vi or Volibear, really, because you go in and you are
and that's
in.
It.
That is the fight. You don't get to change your mind partway through. But here, with the Thresh Lantern to help them get out, Snoopy's going to keep his distance with Wither, you know, being able to kite back and forth. Wicked can even throw out the Shadow Clones and just use his E for the slow. It's a very, very good thing for EG as they run out of their base.
So here we go then, EG versus Giants, our first game of Sunday here on the European LCS live from Lille, France, in the Zenith Arena. Level 1, we've heard from Crepo when he was on the analysis desk. They like to study this level 1 scenario and what could possibly happen here.
Yeah, and look at this. They have 4 in the brush that didn't get spotted by any wards. This could be very, very dangerous. They're going right into that brush.
Oh, here comes the hook. They've managed to pull Twisted Fate out into that one there. The stun card is pulled up for him, but he goes very low. Yellow Pete is going to get the first kill. Morgan goes down as well. It's 2 kills for Evil Geniuses. Can they get in onto Babette? He forced the flash away. He's so low. The flash has been burnt left, right, and center. But what a start for EG! Oh, that was super close. Babette just getting away.
Not only did they start the game without getting 2 bans, but they got 2 kills at the start of it as well. That's the level 1 scouting that they do. This is why they play for the level 1. They prepped before here. They were watching the Giants games. They knew exactly where Giants was going to go, and that Thresh hook blind into the brush. They knew what was happening. They hit it. They made it count.
Brilliant, brilliant start for Evil Geniuses. And for Giants, they're going to be so downtrodden at this stage of the game. They've already lost those bans earlier on. The start has been just horrible for them, really, at this point of things. So we'll have to see how they can really react to this one. The kills, of course, 1 for Misfortune, 1 for Anivia. Couldn't have really gone any better there. No, unless they'd have got even more kills than that right from the very get-go. Snoopy are going to be starting off at that blue buff.
And one of the big things about these level 1s is you got to keep track of like who used their summoner spells and what's still available. And we know how good Froggen is on Anivia. He has very particular matchups for everything he goes against. Against Twisted Fate, he runs AD runes on Anivia, so he's going for first blood here in this mid lane. He's got 60 AD. Anivia has 600 auto attack range last I checked, so he's harassing Extra like crazy. Anivia still has Flash Ignite. Extra has no Flash, so like, not only is it the 2-0 first blood, but the strongest laner on Evil Geniuses has a flash up on his opponent.
And speaking of lanes, early on we were talking about how Kha'Zix's strong point is definitely not in that 2 versus 1. Giants have gone for the lane switch and put Kha'Zix against the Misfortune Thresh lane. What do you think about that one, Jack?
I think this is another thing that points in the favor of Evil Geniuses. Like, Wicked talks about how much he likes Zed in a 1v2 lane because he can sit in his turret like this, farm the wave because he has pretty good wave clear, and when he hits 6, he can just single out one guy and just go and try to kill him. So Wicked's very comfortable in this, whereas the 1v2 for Krepo and Yellow Pete, as soon as he lands one Death Sentence, that's a kill. They don't have the same potential on the other side of the lane.
Yeah, and Samak's already having a hard time there. Up at 0 CS right now, which obviously is far from being up from anything. But on the other side, Wicked, he's got 2 assists, which will have really helped get things going for him at the start, and he's doing a great job under this turret. Jimbones and Mabetta going to be trying to put down as much damage as they can onto the turret, but Zed is always a threat. The burst that comes out of him, especially as you said at that level 6, they have to be so careful about it.
And it's already paying off right now for Evil Geniuses here. You just look at the difference between Zed and Kha'Zix, 10-2, right? It's not even really getting there. Samak's already had to go back to base once and shop, and now Snoopy's around the back, but I think that's getting repelled, yeah.
Yeah, that was timing from both junglers coming in, but Snoopy actually still hanging around here. The briefcase is coming out. There's a lantern to pull Snoopy to safety, but they've done a lot of damage onto this turret already. It's down below half health, and that is a start and a half for EG.
They have came to play. I mean, they know what's at stake. They're in that 4th spot in the standings right now. They don't want to face the same fate that they're actually kind of formal brother team over in NA did, COG NA, and fall to like an 8-9 record. They know this is go time for the season for them. We're at the mid-season mark, and they do seem to be kind of finding something. Obviously, they had that great start, and everything is going their way early on here, Joe.
And we saw there already the damage that Wiki can put down. Krepo gonna get a pink ward here inside of the brush there on the bottom side of the river. Of course, Dragon not being taken yet. We're only 4.5 minutes in. We see it sometimes, but not just yet in this one. Modern actually was looking maybe to invade there in towards the EG jungle. Snoopy was already ready and waiting now. Let's have a look at the CS in this middle lane, because we know that Froggen is a monster farmer. He's at 31-25 as Wicked is trying to bully Babetta and Jimbones away from this turret. That could go down in the next wave or 2.
Yeah, and this top lane we have to watch very, very closely here. Wicked is nearing level 6. He's got just hit level 5. He needs to get a whole nother wave. I wonder if he can hold this turret long enough before it goes down, but now with Twisted Fate coming in from behind, Wicked's going to lose this turret, and I don't think he's getting level 6.
Well, he's trying to put as much damage as he could there on towards Ashe and Lulu to try and force them to back away, but they've got the turret. Twisted Fate actually backed away from that scenario, and that is first turret of the game being picked up by Giants. Let's go to bottom lane here and see if Yellow Pete and Krepo can do the same here with this wave coming in. The turret is still, I'm not going to say healthy, but it's below half HP. It's not quite as low as we saw there in the top from that last wave.
Yeah, and they're going to continue pounding on this turret, though. They have a very huge wave, and Kha'Zix doesn't have the best way of clearing it yet. He hasn't evolved his Void Spikes yet, so they should be able to get this turret here, and that completely evens things out. Now it's just a matter of where do they go next. The only difference here, though, Giants has the Twisted Fate pressure, so the roaming around of Yellow Pete and Krepo is much more dangerous than the roaming around of Giants' AD and support combo.
Let's see what Extermin can do here. Needs, to be honest, to make an impact in this game. There's no way that he can, hit level 6 and continue out the game without getting other lanes rolling here, because after going that 2-0 behind, he's behind in farm. The AD carry is pretty level, but compared Zed to Kha'Zix, 29-17, those 2 assists on Wicked, and he's not even been back. He lost his turret earlier on, and he said, you know what? I just don't care. I'm just going to keep pushing and pushing.
And Wicked gets a lot of flack sometimes for not having the biggest champion pool, but nobody gives him flack when he's on his champions. Like when Wicked's on Aurelia, when Wicked's on Zed or on Renekton, he is a powerhouse. And even though he was stuck in a 1v2, like he was against Jim's Ashe. He's only 10 minion kills down, so Lulu being in that lane against him didn't really slow him down at all. He knows exactly what he's doing. Twisted Fate trying to make anything happen is going to be so hard because Froggen on Anivia will consistently keep that lane pressured out. And I want to see how Giants tries to make plays because Evil Geniuses does seem to be back on point.
EG saw that ward being put down there in the blue buff. Anivia and Zed was actually coming up there as well just to make sure that that wasn't going to get stolen away. And they've managed to keep that one locked in there.
That was a nice try by Giants to try to get that through. If Morden could have denied Anivia the blue buff, that would have allowed Exter the ability to shove the lane out of Froggen and then go and roam for ganks. But now that Anivia has the blue, the lane's always going to be at Giants mid lane tower, and Exter might not be able to help out the other lanes, which is exactly what EG wants.
Pushing that one up indeed. Going flying past Babetta. Don't want to get involved with that. Ashe still not level 6, so
look at
the
this.
arrow not going to be able to come out just yet. Extermin getting caught here. Actually, the stun will land. Snoopy coming around. Where is the Wither? There is the Ghost Pock. Good briefcase coming out. Wither goes down on towards Morden. There's a Spirit Fire. Have they got the damage here to finish off? Not quite.
If Morden did not burn that flash at that precise moment, he would have been dead. Froggen threw out his E and Q at exactly the same time. It would have comboed, but because of this is one of those, let's gank because we know we want the dragon. Froggen actually went around to harass the blue buff because he knew that's where Exter was heading for it. Knowing Exter was going to be walking back to the lane, that's how Froggen got the jump on it. And this was all premeditated for Evil Geniuses. So yes, they were only talking about the level 1, but this is the game sense that they have. And they knew this play was coming from a mile away. Easy dragon for them, well played.
And this is exactly what the point you made yesterday in the EG game, that the ganks were timed perfectly with a dragon push straight afterwards. We'll see next time when the dragon's spawning whether they go for something like that again. That'll indicate that it's a big part, as Zed may be in trouble here in the top lane. Extermin has come in. Wicked will flash away, but the stun card lands. There come the wild cards. Wicked down to below half HP as Samax is going to flash in there as well. Wild card will miss, and Wicked is able to escape.
That was an awesome escape. He used his ultimate to dash away from Twisted Fate, then his flash, and that saved his Living Shadow long enough to go back over the wall. So they just couldn't keep up with him no matter how many blinks he has. And like yesterday, there was that matchup between Twisted Fate and Zed. I don't remember exactly the teams, but Zed is one of the hardest people in the game for Twisted Fate to gank, because no matter what you do, all he has to do is save his Living Shadow, and he is out of there as soon as you decide where to go.
Right now, Froggen is pushing in. They're going to get the hook on towards Morden. He's not getting away from this. Crepo gets the kill. Kill secured there for Evil Geniuses. That puts them 3-0 up. Will they be able to put down more pressure onto this middle turret? Twisted Fate and Lulu, the two here to try and defend this one, but with Snoopy coming in there as well, they've got enough damage, enough tank ability to get out a turret.
That was smart. A lot of other less experienced teams would have backed up and waited for the wave, but that is just not what EG wants to wait for. That's more aggressive than you've seen EG be in the past. That wasn't something they took slow, but that was a very calculated move anyway, even though it was on the aggressive side. They're now up 2 turrets to 0. That's about 2,500 gold, and they've stopped all the plays Giants has tried to make.
Really strong start here for EG. Jimbo's just making sure there with the hawk shot that no one's coming around the side to gank him up. Let's have a look through the items here, Jack. We can compare them with Anivia. Still that 20 CS lead there or thereabouts that Froggen has. Rod of Ages is finished.
And he's actually 1,000 gold up on Exter. That 1 kill and 2 assists really coming in big. The fact that they've gotten the 1 turret advantage and the dragon, as you were saying. But getting the Rod of Ages this early compared to just a couple Thorns rings from Twisted Fate completely swings that lane to the other side. He's also got 2 levels on him. You look at the AD carries as well, and it's like a BF sword plus Fam Scepter for Yellow Pete, soon to be a Bloodthirster, and the slow building Blade of the Ruined King for Jims. Again, it's one of those 600 gold leads that they have on the AD carries over there, and it's just a huge difference at this juncture in the game. As long as Evil Geniuses continues to keep the lane pressure up, they're in such good shape, they don't really have to make any super aggressive plays.
And here is Froggen just bullying Morden around. I thought they might try and collapse in on towards Kha'Zix in that top lane. Thresh is already waiting here inside of the brush. Here comes Twisted Fate. That's going to surely be a disengage from both sides, yet they do go back in the end. Well, it was nicely played from both in the end.
And now we see Giants trying to make their play. They got triple people in the middle lane. Jims, Babetta, and Morden were all there pushing up, but how are you going to push through on the Anivia? They don't even get a extra turret shot, and they try to harass Froggen with the volley, but grouping 3 mid against Froggen, who's still on full mantle, really just going to get him in trouble. Now Snoopy almost went in for a fight.
And they've got a lot of slow potential there as Wicked has taken down Samuks for that one. That's 4-0 up now as Jimbo's here. Could be in a little bit of trouble. Cleanses the arrow off. Can he keep going for the kill? Flashes in. Bullet time is off to the side. And Jimbo's just casually saunters around the side of it. Yellow Pete so close to wrapping up another kill.
They're going to just keep pushing this one down. I mean, Giants group 3 in the middle lane. It distracted them. Evil Geniuses got the gank onto Samuks, which we unfortunately missed. They basically just bursted him down from 100 to 0, though. And Giants is looking a little bit lost right now.
Yeah, we see this turret in the top lane is going to be falling down. Middle turret probably won't last too much longer either. I think it's got one auto attack pretty much left on it there. And that already, you know, we've got a 4,500 gold lead for EG. 3-0 in turrets, 4-0 in kills. If we look down the individual gold there, 1,200 for Froggen in the middle lane, 1,000 between the AD carries, 1,400 almost in the top lane. That it's just a big difference over the entire map right now.
And we actually see Wicked going for that BF sword as well with his big gold advantage. A lot of Zeds you'll see will rush the Bilgewater Cutlass and get Blade of the Ruined King because you can spike the active damage with your ultimate to just amp it even more. But he just wants a Bloodthirster right now. He's keeping the pressure up, trying to keep the lane shoved. With the Bloodthirster, he can clear the back wave much easier than if he were to go for Blade of the Ruined King. And considering he was able to just burst out Samuks in that top lane for a kill, he's quite fine without the extra burst of Blade of the Ruined King.
Oh, Snoopy is very far up here, but the rest of the team actually going to come around the back. There is the wall coming down. Will they be able to follow up? No, they won't. But what they have done here is won themselves positioning for that blue buff.
They had that blue timed precisely. The Dragon should be up in about 45 seconds, but the interesting thing here is Wicked's got to react because he doesn't want Samuks to get any free farm in the top lane. Either way, they look in great position. They're denying the blue buff from Exter. They've completely removed the Twisted Fate pressure from the game, and they are controlling the pace really strongly here.
Yeah, Twisted Fate not really been too involved with things, has it? Up until now, as we say that, there goes the ultimate, and he's going to come in towards this middle lane, but there's no target available.
Who was he really going to go for? There were 3 people in middle. It's almost like he just wanted to get there faster, but I don't know. He probably thought there was a play there that wasn't, and that is a very warded blue buff.
Oh, Samuks, there comes the stun. Oh, he jumped away from it. That was brilliant from Samuks. Saw it coming, leaps himself away. Blue buff is still there, ready for the taking. Snoopy gonna back straight onto it, close.
So the cool thing about this for Evil Geniuses is Froggen already has the enemy blue buff, so they can give this blue to Snoopy, which will give him tons and tons of withers. One thing that Snoopy's kind of done this game is he's actually pretty far behind. Look at this, he's level 7 at 14 minutes. But it doesn't matter because the lanes have been in such control. Snoopy's really just been kind of meandering around, doing what needs to be done so the rest of the team can work, and it's working for them.
Right now we see the EG well into the bottom side of the Giants jungle, and that times perfectly again with the respawning of that Dragon. Snoopy just pushing the middle wave out. Wicked up at the top lane right now. They're feeling obviously they might not even need to be involved in this one, but Dragon is available for the taking.
Giants wants no part of this. When Evil Geniuses went in and got control of the blue buff, they basically made Giants scared to even enter their own jungle. So going as far as the river to get the Dragon is something they're not even willing to do. And check out Wicked while the Dragon's getting taken. He wants to get Jims. He's gonna get him.
Oh, he's just, yeah, exploded. What can we say about that one? There is Zed and Anivia chiming in together.
The Shadow Ninja just came out of the fog of war and blew somebody up. So Jims, not the safest champion to pick against Ashe. When Zed first started getting flavor in the competitive scene, there was a player called Insec over in Korea. He would routinely jump over Ashe arrows with Zed's ultimate just to get to him. So Jims, if Wicked can pull off plays like that, no chance of staying alive now that Wicked's getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he's now 2-0-2, got a good lead in the creep score as well. Let's have a look a little bit more down the items. We've seen a Brutalizer being picked up for Zed, along with that earlier tier. The Sheen finally coming out for Extermin's Twisted Fate. That just shows you how far behind he is right now.
He wants to get a Lichbane. I mean, we've seen guys rush that, but they are just so scared. Look at that wall from Froggen. This is the Anivia practice that they've been talking about. And
Babetta is going to find himself falling short once again. It's Yellow P that picks it up. Ash Arrow came in from the side, but honestly, that was not going to stop Babetta falling down from that one. And EG now going to pressure in towards this inner turret in the bottom lane. And again, going by the book.
Yeah, and look at this. Morton and Exter are on the other side of the map. Again, the catch.
There is the catch coming in. Bullet time won't quite finish off Samuks, but they've done what they came here to do, and that's force them away from the turret and then take the turret itself down.
So we'll see how Evil Geniuses puts the foot on the gas pedal here, because they do seem to be slightly evolved, right? Like, I know we always harp on Evil Geniuses, at least in the last couple weeks, about reinventing themselves and how their strategy hasn't been working this season, but stuff like this, even though they had the great start, is kind of a future for them, because I want to compare Evil Geniuses to Gambit Gaming, who are like their long-time rivals. And you compare the way Gambit Gaming wins games. Everyone has their small champion roster, in all honesty, that they work off of, and then they execute their strategy, right? Alex plays farming assassins. Genja has his couple supports, always loves Thresh, right? Or sorry, that's Edward. But EG is actually very similar in the types of champions they're playing, and if they pick up their aggression, they could very well turn into a Gambit Gaming-like team as well.
All right, now EG just chasing up that middle lane there. Lulu and Mundo were there. Do we have the Oracle on? I think we do, right? Yeah, on Thresh, on Crepo. Thought they'd just taken that ward down there in the middle lane that was put down by Giants. So they're going to start to clear things out again. Very methodical, approaching the 20-minute mark. Oracle on, clear out around Baron, and start to set up, choking them in their own jungle.
They are just fully in control right here. You just think of completed item thresholds. Like, not only is it the 7,000 gold, it's the huge amounts of experience, it's the team comp advantage on top of that. They've completely removed the global presence of Exter. Like, Exter's trying to make something happen right now in the bottom lane by split pushing, but there's 5 strong on Evil Geniuses. We'll see how aggressive they want to be by how strongly they keep this push going.
Well, that's the thing. It's a 5 versus 4 in this top lane now, and Extermin, the position he's in, he can't get there with his ultimate.
And you can see the game of chicken has already been lost by Giants, because Exter, okay, he was faking his back on Twisted Fate. He might be trying to split push. Evil Geniuses has to make up their mind whether they want to go or fall back pretty shortly.
Well, they're on the, he's on the outer turret here, Extermin. Doesn't have that Lich Bane finished off just yet. EG trying to get in there. The Void Spikes doing a good job along with the volley. Those briefcases coming out there to really annoy them, as a stun is going to land here on towards Babetta, but they don't follow up. There is the Ash Arrow coming out, but it hits Crepo instead of the intended target, Yellow Pete.
Yeah, and it looks like Giants is just trying to stop them from getting back. Evil Geniuses took a lot of poke, but they got to be careful here. Jims is on no mana, and they don't have wards with their chase, so Evil Geniuses might look to turn this one.
Here comes Modern. Ward down. Will avoid the stun coming out of Anivia. He's going to keep throwing those briefcases in there, trying to slow them down. Crepo gets slowed by the volley as well. Giants still chasing down. Twisted Fate going in. There is the hook. The box come down. There is bullet time as well. And Giants being ripped to pieces, but Samek's in the back. He will finally fall. Morden is in there as well. Crepo being pushed down by him, but Crepo is staying alive. Not long enough though. Jimbones will fall, and now it's Morden trying his best to run away. Here is Wicked. He's going to get the kill onto Lulu. They pick off Mundo as well.
So 4 for 2. They do lose the turret in the other lane. Exter might keep pushing for the next one. That is not as bad as you'd expect for Giants. It still probably won't turn the tide for them, but they did kill Pete. They did kill Crepo. They got the turnarounds on those bounties. They got some important just information of their jungle too. They know what they have in a fight. Still probably not going to be enough here, and if Exter can't get this turret, that's definitely not worth it for them.
And Froggen is actually flying his way in there towards Extermin. And in the end, he just sticks the ultimate down, gets rid of the creeps, and will go back home once again. He portaled back, but just came straight into that lane, no mess around. Let's have a look at the items that have been completed here on their last attempt as Wicked. His position is going to be spotted out here, but can they lock him down? Extermin has put the Ignite in there. Where's the stun card? Actually could have pulled it first time. Will land it the second time around, and we've got Kha'Zix chasing him from the backside as well. There's the Lantern, pulled to safety. There's
the disengage that Evil Geniuses really loves. Crepo managed to get back to Wicked. Wicked, you know, didn't really have many options to get away there. He used his Living Shadow to get over the Baron Pit. It was a very good attempt by Exter. That was really the first we've seen of a bit of global presence coming in. But now that they've burned that ultimate, Samek's actually used his Kha'Zix ultimate in the chase as well, because he was trying to catch up. Just makes Giants a little bit weaker. And now there could be a Kha'Zix in trouble because Evil Geniuses is stalking.
They are closing in. There is the wither down on Samek, which means instantly he's going to have a few problems to get away. Crepo in there with him as well will knock him back. The hook actually missing there, and here comes the Ash Arrow. Giants are going to look to turn this one around with Jimbones coming in from the side. Crepo going low. The shield will keep him alive for now. There is Samek's jumping away as Lulu joins in the fight. Snoopy is constantly slowed down here, but he's got that ultimate running, and here comes Froggen from the side. The stun is going to miss. He focuses around on towards Samek. The auto attack's not enough to finish off the kill. Is Snoopy going to die? die here. He's got hardly anything left. They're going on towards Jimbo.
Zed's
They
here.
get themselves 2 kills. Here comes Wicked from the side with Yellow Pete as well, and they clean up 3 kills.
What an awkward fight that was. It was a support and a jungler who's also, Snoopy's one of the more supporty style junglers, especially with his build and style this game. Slowest possible fight. Long, slow bird made it up to finish that one off. They did get a 3 for 2. Exter wasn't involved in that one at all. He was pushing bottom on Twisted Fate, and then actually just kind of stalled out the game for Evil Geniuses. I can't say that was a full win for either team.
And actually a surrender vote failing there for Giants. So
1 to 4.
They decided not to go for that one. So it's obviously just one man in the team who's like, guys, this is over. Let's get out of here. But the rest of the team not wanting to go for that one. Dragon is up and available. EG going to go down to that, and they're going to be taking this one without any problems whatsoever. So Jack, take us a little bit through the items. What do we have here that's key to, how this next fight will be ending?
All right, so one strange thing Pete's done on Misfortune there, he's went with the Bloodthirster straight to a Phantom Dancer. A lot of the MFs usually go like Bloodthirster to Black Cleaver to make the bullet time bigger, especially when they're comboing with something like Zed, who also does physical damage. But that build to me tells me Yellow Pete doesn't care as much about his ultimate and more just wants to auto-attack duel. Like when Morden runs in at him, he wants to be able to deal with him well. Samix jumps on him, he wants to be able to burst him down as well. They have enough teamfight control in their opinion because they have Froggen. Anivia just by himself will control the team fights. I like that choice. I mean, they have the Locket of the Iron Solari. Snoopy thinks that's much better than Aegis, which is what Morden's went for. And now, Snoopy actually, Exter just ditching out, but they burned the Twisted Fate ultimate.
Yeah, Twisted Fate ulti is gone, and EG pushing up middle here. I mean, they know he can only take a certain amount of options, really, from the position that he was in from there, but it's not about chasing right now. They know that Destiny's down. They're pushing straight up this middle lane here. Wicked just going to branch off to the side as they see the briefcase come through. Actually, they've got Ward there on that corner bush, so they know where they were coming from. The hook not quite landing onto Extermin. Good few auto attacks coming off on towards the turret, but the volley slowing them down. EG move off.
And EG really has to find a way to crack this turtle because the volley spam plus the void spike spam from Kha'Zix did repel them when they were trying to do that 5v4 push earlier, and it just repelled them there. So they have to find a pick, and they might get something like this if Froggen gets a good one.
They're setting up the trap here. Actually, the focus is going down on towards Morden, onto the tank there. Yellow Pete's going to rip him to pieces. Wild Growth comes in. There's the bullet time. Zed diving in as well. Samix goes low. The Ignite will finish him off there. Crepo gets the kill as the box goes down. There's a hook on Jimbo. He cleanses that away. They turn the damage around onto Crepo, who will survive. There is a killing spree from Froggen. A flash away from Babetta. He won't get stunned up, but EG with 3 low members.
And they're still very, very low as you're saying. Can they get this push up? Jimbones and Babetta all trying to go back to base, but they don't have their home guard boots yet, so they probably can't make it back to save this inhibitor.
The ward was put down, and EG surely going to back off from this one. Morden was coming back in there. Froggen just going to go back around the corner of the wall there. He's not too worried about that one as the briefcase comes in and stops it.
This is really interesting because I was talking with Snoopy yesterday about how teams mid and late game have to recall together. Froggen should have recalled together. He almost got himself in trouble there if Morden would have been able to land that infected cleaver from Dr. Mundo. And EG has to be a little bit careful of a desperation Baron here from Giants. They were low with the delayed recall. Giants might try to make some of a counter push because they still haven't all went back to base to heal.
And we see there a Giant's belt being picked up with a pickaxe of Misfortune, so getting a bit tankier. Some Fire Cape finished for Snoopy as well, but Giants are pushing this outer turret here in that middle lane, and it will be taken down. So that was the 3rd turret of the game. All outer turrets now down for Giants, but it's a massive, a mountain even, like bigger than Everest right now, I think, against a team like EG.
It's pretty big Everest against EG, and EG
Everest.
doesn't usually throw leads. They're the ones that if they're down, they're more likely to come back because of the way they play and how they usually pick late game team comps. But once you're into a team fighting phase against DG, it is an Everest style comeback. Kilimanjaro as well. I don't know which is harder to climb. I feel like K2 is a harder mountain to climb than
Everest's the biggest, so.
It is the biggest mountain. There we go, Joe. And it's just, they got the inhibitor in the last fight, so when they were looking for something, they were able to get it. It took them a little while to crack that code, but now they do seem to once again be in full control. I mean, Crepo still has about a minute left on his oracles. They might look to do something with Baron, but since they have an inhibitor downed already, they might just look for their second inhibitor, and they're on the hunt for probably Exter once again, who is just trying to recall out. I wonder if Froggen's going to catch him.
Yeah, Froggen is chasing down there, and actually Extermin cancelled that one off after he saw him coming in there, and now he's going to be running away. Where's the portal going to come? The sun not quite landing. Extermin up inside the jungle, and EG pinging that one. They know that he's going to be around there somewhere. Yellow Pete going to go from his spidey sense in this one, but I don't think he's even going to be in range to get that E down, or will he? Yeah, oh, close stuff. He got it down, but Twisted Fate already in the process of leaving.
They saw where Twisted Fate ported to because of the ward they had at red, and then they predicted he would be in the Wraith brush. That's why he ran through that. The only other brush he could have been in was the one that Yellow Pete put his Make It Rain down on him, but it was like a millionth of a second too slow, and it was great prediction work by Yellow Pete. It just didn't pay off.
Didn't pay off, but what have EG got from that? No Destiny now available. That's not means, you know, he's not going to be able to move, but maybe even more importantly, to reveal the positions of EG, because with those wards not really with not a lot of ward coverage is what I'm trying to get out there from Giants. They probably have to rely on that coming out of Twisted Fate.
Because you're absolutely right. Giants has been so pushed back to their base, they haven't been allowed to ward up their own Baron area. Oracles did expire on Crepo, which gives Giants the ability to put Ruby Sightstone wards over and over again. And it's actually funny, Giants is sitting on 2 Oracles right now because they're trying to split push, but this Baron going to be going down pretty fast. Giants not even in position to contest. They got to throw some kind of like Hawk Shot in or TF ult, but all those things are down. They're literally just trying to get those bottom turrets and giving up a Baron, but EG will easily get back in time.
EG gonna get back in time for this one. They will lose that inner turret, maybe even the inhib turret here. I mean, there are 3 men there for Giants. It depends how much they are willing to really commit to this one. Samex will be tanking it up until the minions come in, but here comes the home guard boots on Froggen. Where's the wall gonna come down? This could be very dangerous still. Is Froggen gonna commit to this one? He has flash up available in a split second here. Will he go for it? Actually gets slowed in the end there, and it looks like they should be able to walk away from that.
Wicked has been flanking around the back though, and he's going for Jims right here.
Oh, Jimbo's in a lot of trouble. Snoopy is in there as well, and together they will destroy him. Actually, Yellow Pete managed to sneak in there to pick up the kill right in the end, but look at this, double super minions coming up that middle lane right now. EG going to be following in there as well. This is actually a dangerous time where if Giants play it wrong, I think they could lose the game right here.
They're in huge, huge trouble. The main ways they were repelling the pushes before is volley spam along with Kha'Zix's Void Spikes. One part of that equation is completely missing, and this time Evil Geniuses has Baron as well, so this is an incredibly difficult turret to hold.
That turret is going to be ripped to shreds there, leaving the inhibitor completely open. The hook just missing there. Extermin coming in to get the stun down. Didn't really do much damage as Extermin also taking a big hit from Zed. Where are they going to go now, EG? They're going to be focusing in on towards the Nexus turrets. They want to end this game right here, right now. Half health taken down. There's the hook coming in towards Jim Bones. The bullet time almost taking him out as well. Yellow Pete in the meantime is still hammering away. There's the Ash Arrow. It hits Nasus. That's not the target that it needs to land on. And EG will manage to ward them off. Will they go in for the kills? Yes, they will. Morden going low. Samex is right in there, but he jumps away. EG not super healthy from this one, but what the Giants have to follow up? Nothing.
Yeah, Giants is consistently going back to their base to heal up. EG living there 5v5. The Baron regen is enough. Amazing that nobody died there. They got most of the work done. There's still 1 Nexus turret available for Giants, but Evil Geniuses pretty much has complete control of this. They still have, I think their Baron just ran out at, no, I was looking at the wrong one. Their Baron's got plenty of time left. They got a minute and a half left on the Baron. I think they're going for Inhib 3.
Yep, our last and final one standing here. Actually, Wicked had gone a bit further back there, but it will be still a 5-man push from EG working up.
Yeah, and Kha'Zix is trying to come in from behind. This would be the last-ditch effort for Giants if they can get something, but EG knows they're there. Giants has to hold on their 3rd inhibitor. If they give this up, they are giving away the game. There's like a 2 or 3% chance Giants can come back in this one, but this would be what they'd have to do that is fight here.
Kha'Zix there was on top of that ward pretty much the entire time. Got stunned up. Froggen didn't follow in there. We see another ward put down just outside the base, which is quickly repelled and taken down. Snoopy tanking up the turret here. Good few auto attacks coming in. Samex again from the side will avoid the stun, but they get the hook in towards Extermin. Here we go. They go right in there. The box is down. Giants going to be slowed right down to a standstill, and they're being ripped to pieces here. Morden will get his ulti running, but Samex won't be able to escape. They pick pick up 2 kills. They're going to go through to that 3rd and final inhibitor here. In fact, EG may just choose to finish the game straight off. I mean, they're not super healthy here, or at least Wicked and Snoopy below half HP. Morden and Babette coming back from the base, but can they, between them, hold this one off? Jimbone's going to be instrumental if they can do anything with it. The turret being hammered away out. There's a wither down on towards Jimbone's. A volley comes in. The wall will land. There is bullet time. Wicked dominating right now. They turn back around. They're going to go onto the Nexus, and EG take down Giants here in our first game of the day.